You've burned through every decent mobile MMO, and they're all pay to win. You're in the right spot. Here are the 12 best MMORPG mobile games you can play right now. Albion Online drops you into a world where everything, gear, buildings, the economy, comes from other players. Albion Online doesn't lock you into a class. You're what you wear. Swap a bow for a staff, and your whole build shifts. The core loop? Gather resources, craft gear, haul it to market, then risk it all in red and black zones where anyone can kill you and take your stuff. Full loot PvP changes how you play. You don't AFK autopath here. I learned that the hard way when I loaded 1,000,000 silver of or onto an ox, got greedy, and rode straight into a gank squad near Curlian. Ox gone. We're gone. My fault. The economy runs on that loss. Every sword on the market exists because someone risked their neck to make it. Albion Online's sandbox economy keeps you chasing market flips, but Black Desert Mobile drops you into fast-paced combat the moment you log in. Black Desert Mobile lets you set up trade routes and node farms that keep running while you sleep. You slash through world bosses, dodge telegraphs, and chain combos with a controller-like feel on a phone screen. Between fights you cast nets, haul fish, and manage workers that gather or overnight. The offline node system is the standout. Progress ticks away even when the app is closed. I once woke up to a full warehouse of black stones after a night of AFK fishing, and my cat tried to claim the loot. It's a grind that respects your time. After the desert grind of Black Desert Mobile, Diablo Immortal drops you straight into endless rifts. Diablo Immortal lets you swap skills mid-fight with its essence transfer system, so you never lock into one build. You tap a portal, clear waves of demons, grab the loot, then upgrade gear at the blacksmith before jumping back in. The rifts scale infinitely, each tier adding tougher affixes and better rewards. I once swapped to a lightning Nova right before a boss in Rage and watched the whole party get fried. My fault, but the loot was worth it. The combat feels snappy on phone and PC, and the class variety keeps every run fresh. You can even queue a rift while waiting for coffee. After the non-stop click fest of Diablo Immortal, I slowed down for Old School RuneScape. Old School RuneScape runs on a tick system where you mine or cook fish and flip items on the Grand Exchange in a loop that never feels rushed. You also train combat by clicking monsters on a 0.6 second tick, which feels weirdly rhythmic. The world feels alive because other players actually talk in the same chat channels. Honestly, the lack of microtransactions makes every level feel earned. I once spent an entire evening trying to catch a single shark only to realize I'd left my net in the bank and the chat roasted me for it. Dude, that moment still cracks me up. After grinding Old School RuneScape's pixelated quests, I jumped into Odin, Valhalla Rising, and the shift felt instant. Odin, Valhalla Rising drops you into seamless Nordic realms where you raid, craft, and fight massive realm wars that hinge on Valkyrie transformations. You spend most sessions gathering or upgrading armor, and coordinating guild sieges that can flip a whole zone in minutes. The standout is the Valkyrie form, a time power-up that lets you rain lightning on enemy forts while your allies push the front line. I once activated it while fishing on a quiet lake and got chased across the map by a rival clan, which was hilarious. The engine keeps the world loading without a single loading screen on phone or PC, so you can swap devices mid-raid. After Odin's Norse myth grind, RF Online next throws you into a 3-faction sci-fi war on mobile. RF Online next lets you pilot mechs, capture bases, and grind gear in real-time sieges. The standout is the massive 3-way siege where hundreds of players clash on a single map. I once got my mech wedged in a fortress wall and spent 10 minutes laughing while my guildmates tried to pull me out. The grind feels familiar, but the scale of those battles keeps me logging back in. You run daily missions, upgrade your frame, and trade loot in a player-driven market that actually moves. The cross-server war timer means you can jump into a fresh fight every few hours without waiting for a queue. RF Online next had me chasing massive faction wars, but Toram Online drops you into something way more personal. Toram Online skips fixed classes entirely and just hands you over 200 skill points to spend however you want. I built a dual-wielding mage who tanks by accident because I dumped everything into agility and magic attack. The core loop is grinding mobs for rare drops, then sitting at a crafting station combining them into gear people actually buy from your personal stall. The market is the real endgame. I once priced a plus 10 staff way too low and watched it vanish in seconds while I was still typing the chat message. Dude bought it before I could cancel. That player-run economy feels alive in a way most mobile MMOs never nail. You can play on PC too, Same account, which saved my thumbs during a 3-hour farming session last weekend. After the anime-style grind of Toram Online, Ragnarok X, Next Generation drops you into a 3D world that still runs on the classic card system. Ragnarok X, Next Generation keeps the MVP timer hunts that pull the whole server into a chaotic party. You run zones, auto-attack mobs, and slot drop cards and a gear to boost stats. Daily quests hand out Zenny and upgrade stones, so you're always tweaking builds. The timer-based MVP spawns are the only thing on this list that turns a solo grind into a server-wide scramble. I once missed a Fenrir spawn because my battery died, and the guild chat lit up with RIP memes. Now I keep a power bank strapped to my belt like a quest item. After the cute, sprite-heavy grind of Ragnarok X, Lineage 2 Revolution throws you into a massive open world where auto-questing handles the grind while you command clan castle sieges. Lineage 2 Revolution lets you jump straight into 50v50 fortress battles in real time. You tap to accept quests, watch your character run the route, then switch screens to assign troops, upgrade the castle, and call reinforcements. The standout is that the game plays itself for the boring parts, so you can focus on the massive PvP map. I once forgot to set a rally point and watch my whole clan get wiped while I was grabbing a snack. Still a blast when the gates finally fall. After the flashy auto combat of Lineage 2 Revolution, Eterspire drops you into a pixel art sandbox where every sword, potion, and house is crafted by players. In Eterspire, you gather resources, run dungeons, and fight open-world PvP where death drops your full loot. You chop trees, mine ore, and craft gear at a workbench, then sell or trade it in the player-run market. The standout is the full loot PvP. Kill someone, and you walk away with everything they carried. No safety net. I once chased a thief through the forest, got ambushed, and lost my best bow. Lesson learned, always keep a backup. The chat is constantly buzzing with trade offers, and guild wars erupt over a single rare or node. It feels like a living economy you can actually touch. AdventureQuest 3D feels like a quick swap sandbox after the endless crafting loops of Eterspire. In AdventureQuest 3D, you jump into a dungeon, hot swap classes on the fly, and watch the world shift when the community votes on seasonal events. You run quests, kill mobs, gather loot, and level up gear while chatting in guild chat. The hot swap class system lets you swap from mage to tank mid-boss without leaving the instance. When a vote passes, the whole zone gets new NPCs, weather, and dungeon layouts that stay forever. I once turned a healer into a berserker right before the final boss, and we wiped the raid laughing. My phone overheated, but the loot was worth the burn. After the bright, cartoony vibe of AdventureQuest 3D, Raven 2 drops you into a gritty dark fantasy. Raven 2's combo-driven combat forces you to manually chain skills instead of leaning on auto battle. You spend most sessions jumping into 20 versus 20 rift wars, dodging telegraphed attacks, and timing each strike to keep the combo meter climbing. Gear drops feed a deep upgrade tree, and you constantly swap loadouts between matches. What sets it apart is that even in massive battles, the game reward precise input over idle grinding. I once mistimed a dash, flew off the arena edge, and my guildmates resurrected me mid-fight while I was still laughing. The pace stays brutal, the visuals stay sharp, and the fights feel earned. And those are the best MMORPG mobile games to play right now. Honestly hope you find a world worth logging into every single day. So which one's your favorite? Drop in the comments. Catch you later.